Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the Super Minipla for Victory Robo from Rescue Sentai Go-Go 5, also known as the Lightspeed Megazord from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue here in the US. Very excited for this one ever since it was announced. I've always thought this was a really cool robot, regardless of what I think of like Lightspeed Rescue. I've never actually seen Go-Go 5 first of all, but Lightspeed Rescue is kind of not bad, not terrible for me, but I've always loved the mecha from the season. I always thought they looked great. So ever since this was announced, I was really excited. And then they announced the Super Train Megazord, aka the Grand Liner, as well as what is it, Solar Max in Lightspeed, and then I think it was called Liner Boy in Japan. So they're just going all out, and I'm really, really excited. So Super Minipla is doing some really amazing things. But here's the top of the box. Very cool pick. Here's this side where it shows the 5 vehicles, and then of course the Go-Go 5, I guess you'd call them over here. And we did also find out that we're getting shadow figures of the 5 Rangers, which is pretty fantastic. So very excited about this. I'm going to open up the box so you can see the individual boxes inside. So very fun, very colorful. Shows you the lineup here on the side. The finished robot there. And I think this is made to look like the original box of the original toy back in the day, which I think is really fun. I love when they do that. The last one I can really remember them. They might do it with all of them, and I'm just not remembering, but the one I can really remember them doing that with is the Kaku Rangers stuff. The Ninja Megazord and the Shogun Megazord here in the US. They did that same thing where they made the packaging look like the original box, and I just think that's fun. I really, really think that's fun. So very, very cool. The boxes are not really different from box to box, with the exception of, you know, the number and the color is different to let you know which one's inside. Otherwise, they're pretty much all the same. So that's going to do it for this. I'm going to go ahead, get these all put together, and then we will take a closer look. So here are the 5 vehicles fully assembled and stickered up. They look pretty good. They're definitely a little bit smaller than I originally thought. I guess it makes sense because they eventually have to fit inside the train vehicles later on. They don't want to make them too big. But here is Red Ladder. Looks pretty good. Minimal stickers. You have 1, 2 on the side here. The silver is paint. These that kind of wrap around the waist are stickers. 1, 2, and then the belt buckle there. But that's pretty much it. Oh, I'm sorry. I think this is painted here on the front, but these black ones on the side are stickers. So overall, pretty cool. And Red Ladder has the ability, if you unpeg the arms and then kind of flip these around, you can do the thing that they sometimes do on the show where the hands come out and do like the crazy ladder grabs and stuff. So if we pull this out, that's not what I meant to do, but all right. So how these work and the way this is, it's a little bit easier if you flip up this front part first, because then you can kind of move these around to the side. Inside they have a little lever here so you can move the hands up. So if I do that, you can see the nub there, which is where I pulled this off of. Now you have to leave the gray part on because that's what the fist pegs into. So you take the fist off, and then it does come with like ladder extension pieces. Now obviously it would have been awesome if these just completely telescoped into the hand and stayed there, but I get why that would take a lot more toy engineering. So they just give you these ladder extension pieces, and what you do is, oh no, you know what? I'm sorry. You take this part off and you put it at the end over here. That's what you do. So then this pegs in to here. And I'm sure that this thing's going to slide back in because it does that a lot whenever you try to peg something into it. And then you can kind of just bring it into however you think it looks good, sit it flush there. Now you can either put this fist back on, or he does come with some like open-handed hands that you can put, like he's trying to grab something. And then I'm going to close this back up, and I'll put this one back down. So you can recreate this. Let me zoom out here a little bit. If you want to do like the, you know, while he's still in the vehicle mode, have the hand reach out and grab something. So I think that's kind of fun. And then you just take this. You got to take this off. Take this hand off. Put this hand back on. And you got to use these hands because it will not collapse with the other hand pegged in. And then you can push that all the way back in and then close this back up like so. So there you go. So you do get 2 of those, and you do get 2 open hands. So if you wanted to have both ladders out at the same time, you certainly could. But otherwise, that's red ladder. Rolls fairly decently. You can see he's got 8 wheels. So not too bad there. I'm going to zoom back in a bit. So here is Blue Thrower, because he's like a water truck. He's got the 2 nozzles here. Again, not too bad for stickers, 2 on each side. I think these down here are stickers, actually. And then underneath here for the what will be the thighs. And then you have a couple on the front here. These little ones were kind of hard, these little super tiny ones. And then you have some black windows on the side as well. But not too much for him to do. He has wheels underneath, as you can see. Yeah, not really too much for him to do right now. Next up, you have Green Hover. And this guy's pretty cool. He's got these little guns here that you can kind of rotate around if you'd like. He's not too bad for stickers either. He's got like one little one there. This kind of strip that wraps around. This here. Is that it? Obviously the head's underneath here. So I think he had a sticker right there on the crest of the head. But the cool thing about this guy is he comes with an accessory here with these little grabby things. Clamps, I guess. So we'll go ahead. You can peg this underneath here. And then you can come around and plug these in to the sides of these vehicles. Like on the show when he is, you can see there's a little spot right there. So you just peg that in here. And then peg this one in on the other side. And it's not perfect, like, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Like when you get these pegged in, you can see how like these are stretched a little bit, but you can make it look like when they're doing the transformation, when he comes around and picks this one up as the legs swing down, and then he drops these into yellow and pink. So you can simulate that, which is kind of cool. And similarly, you can peg him into red as well. He's got 2 spots here on the sides. So you could peg it in like this if you wanted to do like just a complete pickup. If I can get this to peg in, there we go. Or when he transforms, he kind of transforms into the torso and then he picks him up and connects him onto blue. So you can simulate that as well. So I think that's kind of fun. I think it's neat that they included these little accessories so you can do the transformation just like it's done on the show, where Green has to pick everybody up and drop them on top. So I think that's kind of cool. And we'll get to the transformation a little bit later on, but pretty cool for him. All right, next up we have Yellow Armor. Not too much going on here. You got a ton of wheels. They roll fairly decently. Some of them are a little tight, but these ones have kind of loosened up. Pink's wheels are a little bit tighter. These aren't too bad. Does have the shovel piece here on the back, so you can pull this out and grab things. Both of these pieces can move, so that's kind of cool. And you have the big open cavity in there. Otherwise, that's really all this one does, I gotta be honest. Stickers here on the side, these 3, all the windows that wrap around, these little spots here, 1 on top, actually I guess 2 on top. Overall, not too bad. And then you have Pink Aider. This one's sticker, that's a sticker. These, this is painted on the top here. The pink line is actually painted too, which I appreciate. This little black one on here on the side is a sticker, and then everything here on the front. And like I was saying, these, I don't know why, these wheels are just a little bit tighter. They don't really roll all that well. And then you have this that can flip down if you want to pretend it's like an ambulance. You know, wheel in a patient or something like that. But overall, I think they look great. I really do. I like the accessories. They give them the little bit of goofy things they can do here in the vehicle mode, like with the green hover, you know, grabbing a hold of the other guys, and him having the arms that can pop out, I think is kind of fun. But let's go ahead. Let's get into the combination here. All right, so for fun, I think I'm going to do this just like the show. So we'll have these guys come up first. And then obviously they had, if I can get this out again. Come on. This would like push them up. And then how this works is this just kind of rotates in. It's a little weird though, because like this piece here rotates as well as this piece, but like you have to kind of use one to push the other one around. It's a little wonky, but it works. You can also kind of pull this down, and so you can get a lot of like ankle movement there, which is nice. So I think that's why they ultimately did that. Then what you're going to do is pull this down, fold this up, and then just lay this along the back like so. And there you go. One leg is done. Then you're going to take this, very similar. Just go ahead and pop that like that. This is going to fold around. This folds down along the back and done. I always thought it was weird that they didn't do them like this, because that would be in number order, but not the case. They go like that. So if you have them like this, technically then you could bring in green. Go ahead and peg this on here. Have him come and grab a hold of this guy. Come on, peg in. Alright, so he grabs this guy as he picks him up. Let me zoom out here. These swing down, and then you pull them apart, and then they will kind of pull out to the side. And then he just lifts these up, drops them right in. And then they will peg in, and how it works is there's a peg hole right there, and there is a peg inside there. It's kind of probably hard to see, but there it is. Just pegs right in. So you just go ahead, peg that in, peg that in. Then he can release this and fly off to go get red. Now you can also do where you take these off and pop these on top of here, if you want to recreate the like weird walking pants that they do on the show sometimes. So you can go ahead and have them do the weird walking pants. I think it's kind of goofy, but totally attainable. So I'm just going to go ahead and peg these back onto the back of the thighs. And there we go. All right, so now you're going to have red come in. Red is going to pull apart. This is going to flip forward. These are going to spin all the way down, like so. You have this peg here that you have to come and pop out from underneath, so it sticks up like that. And then this whole thing is going to unpeg. Now it's kind of a weird, really tight peg right here. You can kind of see how it's connected, so you just have to be a little careful, but you want to unpeg that. It's just a little tight. There you go. So you want to pop that out of there, and then obviously this is going to spin around. You can see that there are two pegs here, which are going to peg in there and there. So you just go ahead, peg that in. Now, if you want to do the thing where, like, you know, this was like that, and then maybe it spins around to lock in place like they do on the show, that's movable, so you can recreate that if you would like. Let me zoom back out here. Now, you can bring these down, but if you don't do anything, it's not going to be able to turn. See how it's kind of locked by the shoulder there? So you actually have to pull these out a little bit. And then that gives you the full range of motion. And then you want to pull the hands out enough. You can come around here to the back and use this little slide. And they don't like naturally stop. You just kind of want to bring them out until the fist is about the right exposure. So maybe like when the gray piece is kind of flush. Something like that. So bring this down. Pop that out. Pop this out. See, you don't want to do that. It doesn't break anything. It's just annoying. It's like my one complaint about this. It's not a huge problem. It's just that it's annoying that there's no, like, I wish that just kind of made sense to stop or had some kind of tracker. I don't know. I don't know how they would fix it, honestly. All right, so there you go. If you want, you can have green come, and at this point, the connections are over here. So you would grab it here, and you would grab it here. And this one's a little bit harder to do because of the angles of these things, but it's not impossible. So there you go. He would pick this up, bring it around. Drop it in. Now that peg that we popped out before, right there, just pegs in, big peg right there in the middle. So drop this on top, right there. Then you'd have to unhook these. It's a little bit easier said than done. I mean, they definitely peg on very nicely, so I do appreciate that. So as you can see, the robot is pretty much done. Now you're going to go ahead and remove this piece again. There we go. Put that off to the side. So then this thing is going to lift up the head, like so. This is actually going to flip around, and you're going to push this in a little bit, like that. These go up, and these flip out like so. And then you flip this up like that. So just kind of make sure that stuff all lines up. And then you're just going to come around, and there are 2 peg holes right there, 2 pegs right there. So you just drop that in, and boom, there you go. There is your fully combined Victory Robo. So here he is. I think he looks pretty good. He's a little tiny, but I think when you put him next to like all the other Minipla that I've built, he's probably about the right size. One thing I did want to note, so the shoulders I think look fine there, but you do have the option if you want to bring them forward. They have this joint that you could bring them up to here. The directions don't tell you to do this, and honestly I think it looks a little goofy because they're like too far forward. But those joints are there. I don't know, maybe they're utilized for something else and I'm just not getting it because the directions don't really say anything about them, but they're there. The head can spin on a ball joint. No, not a ball joint, just a swivel. I mean, there is like an extra hinge there so he can headbang if you want, but you do just swivel. It's not a ball joint. You have a swivel here. You do have like a joint there that it can move. You can also move inside the shoulder, plus there's that other hinge from before, so you got a lot of different shoulder joints going on there. You do have that bicep swivel once you pull that piece down. You have the elbow. You have wrist swivel because it's just a peg. You can move around the waist here because that's just a peg. You can move this around. Now, these flaps do unpeg, so if you want to get some high kicks in or something, you can certainly do that. But the way this is, this part, and I don't know if you can see this because everything's dark in there, but this can move around like so, and then this can move around like so, but you can't pull this part out. Like, you can't do a true hip kick. You can do like a mid-thigh kick. Now, I'm assuming that's because they expect you to keep this down, so they expect the hip to be more like in here. But if you want to lift that up and do a kick, there's some dead space in there, which looks a little wonky to me. But there you go. You have a swivel there, because this kind of like goes in and out because of how it like transforms. So you can pull that out to the side, but you can also spin. You do have knees, as you can see. And like I showed before, you have a ton of ankle articulation. You can pull this down, so you can get like a crazy amount of ankle articulation if you want. So they definitely hooked you up with ankle tilt. Can't complain there. The only thing is, it seems like there's a lot of dead space in here. I don't know how they would fix it. And you don't really see it just looking at the front, but it just kind of struck me as a little odd. So we'll tilt the ankles there like that. Now, you do have, and I don't know how you're supposed to get this out of here, but you can see how you have like a straight visor like that. They did include a second visor that has a sticker on it for the eyes. And you're supposed to unpeg the other one, as you can see, and peg this one in. And I just don't know how you're supposed to get that one out of there. So I wanted to show you that it has the option. It does come with the second visor. I would assume you'd have to just kind of take the head off, or take the whole thing off, apparently. Doesn't this unpeg? Oh, you know what? This might not even unpeg. That might be in there. I don't remember exactly how this... I don't know. I really have no idea how. Maybe if you had like tweezers or something, you could try to pop that out of there. Like, I picked the one I liked because I kind of figured when I put this together that it's going to be impossible to get that visor out of there. But they do give you a second visor if you want to put the sticker on that has the 2 eyes lit up. All right, and then of course the last of his accessories is the sword. I think they did a great job on the sword. Really nice silver painted piece of plastic there, just kind of slides into the top, and then this piece slides into the bottom, and then you just have these blue stickers, but they look really sharp. How this works, you just unpeg this from the hilt, feed it through one of his hands, like so, and then peg it back on. And there you go. There is the sword. And I'm going to take one of these fists off. We'll give him one of these hands. See what we can do pose-wise. Like I said, he's got a lot of shoulder stuff going on. There's a lot of shoulder stuff. I kind of want to do like a over the head kind of a pose, maybe. Something like that. What do we think? That's kind of cool, right? I'm not great at posing figures, but either way, I think this guy's pretty cool. I really, really like what they've done. All these Super Minipla Sentai Mecha have been really great, and this guy's no exception. I'm really excited now to build the train because of the compatibility there's going to be. One, the train is just huge, and two, the fact that all the mecha for this fit inside the individual train compartments, which I think is really cool. So, I don't know. I don't really have much to complain about. I think they did a pretty excellent job. I like all the accessories that he comes with. You can do the weird three, I mean, not that you wouldn't be able to because it's literally just taking the torso off, but you can do that weird combination where you put the guns on top and have them run around and shoot water. You can do the, connection ports with this thing so you can have green hover, pick up ladder and thrower and drop them in where they go. I think that's kind of neat. You can recreate the sequence from the show. You have these pieces so you can do all the crazy ladder arm things. I mean, you can use these in this mode as well, Just go ahead and pop it on there and extend the hand out. So you can do that in both vehicle and robot mode, of course. And then you have the extra fists. So you have a closed set of fists and you have an open set of hands, which is pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, I don't really have much to complain about. The only thing, I think it's weird that it has this shoulder-like hinge that it doesn't use for anything. And the fact that it has, like, so many different... Like, I kind of wish these pegged in somewhere so that they would stay locked. So that way when you go to move these... you could get a better like range of motion, but you do have a ton of shoulder options there as far as like 1, 2, 3, 4 like shoulder joints in there. So I guess you got some room to play with that. But I appreciate they give you the second visor, even though I have no idea how I'm supposed to get the first one out to switch them. I think it's nice. It gives you an option. That way you don't have to choose, because you don't have to say, all right, do I want to commit to always having the eyes lit up or not having the eyes lit up? They at least give you 2 visors so that if you're tenacious enough and you can figure out how to pop that thing out, you can go ahead and change out the other one. The only other thing, like I said, it does feel a little hollow inside here when you connect green, but I don't really think it's that big a deal, especially since when you're just looking at it, you don't see it. I think the backpack looks pretty good over here. There's obviously a little connection port there if you want to use a stand, which is cool. Got a lot of ankle tilt. Stickers look good, but not so many stickers that it was a problem. They were all pretty easy to apply. Assembling it was fun and easy. I did it over a couple nights. Just, casually putting it together when I had time, and it was fun. I didn't really have any problems. It wasn't tedious. It wasn't difficult. I think that maybe the hardest part was getting these wheels pegged in, because there's a peg that sticks out, and then you have to put the hubcap through the wheel that has a peg, and then you peg it in, and just getting that pegged all the way in was slightly difficult. Not impossible or anything like that, but yeah, I like this a lot. I really do. I think he did a great job with it. I've always liked Victory Robo. I think it's a pretty cool robot. And like I said, I'm excited to check out the train and the compatibility with that. And then we're going to get Liner Boy, and then you're going to have more compatibility because he's going to combine with Liner Boy. It's going to be awesome. They're going to do a really good job with these. I'm really excited. This is only the tip of the iceberg. It's about to get a lot better from here. So if you have the ability to pick this up, I definitely recommend it. I'm not sure if they're sold out anywhere. I got mine from HLJ, but it was a while ago because it came out a while ago. They should probably still be around. Otherwise, I'd probably check Mandarake. Probably your best bet. But I definitely think it's a lot of fun. If you're into Super Minipla at all, I definitely think this is one worth picking up. And then, like I said, onto the train, onto Liner Boys. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.